Hello and welcome to another Necromunda, continuing with the fine yearly tradition. After we do our year in review video, GW releases a Necromunda FAQ. I don't even know why we do the year in review before the FAQ. This is 2 years running, so next year we should just wait for this.
So it wasn't an FAQ yet last year. It was like an extra. It was the what was it? It was like a release.
Oh, it was an Apocrypha.
It was
the wasn't it the Ogren one?
It was,
or the Mutant Gangs.
I think
one?
it was the Mutant Gangs one, because they haven't done they have not done an FAQ since before this book came out, and this was in 2022. I promise you.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of which, as the Necromunda core rulebook has replaced all the rulebooks above, which is Necromunda rulebook, Necromunda Dark Uprising, Necromunda Hive War, Necromunda Ash Wastes, those are all dead.
Defunct. Throw them away.
So you bought that Ash Waste book that we told you to buy because it was the only way to get the Ash Waste campaign? Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, interestingly enough, that campaign should still be good.
It is.
It's just not the rules.
Yeah. And honestly, most of the rules are fine.
Yeah.
Just the few things that are really
like
important.
Dark Uprising has a good campaign. Well,
yeah.
A campaign in it.
It's a good campaign, as if you like getting kicked in the teeth. Then again, so is Ash Waste.
So is Ash Waste. Noticing a pattern here.
Ash Waste does a better job of getting kicked in the teeth than Dark Uprising does. Change my mind.
Right.
So what's actually new? Well, thankfully, as always, they highlight the new things in magenta for us. First thing is that the forced door has changed. Now, what forced door used to be is the fighter is within 1 inch of a locked door, roll a d6 and add this fighter's strength, adding 2 for every friendly fighter that is also in base contact. If the total is 9 or more, the door is opened. The only thing that they've changed is that you can either add the fighter's strength or the strength characteristic of a weapon with the melee trait that they are armed with.
Okay.
Which means a las cutter will always open a door.
Las cutter will which actually makes sense.
It makes very, very good sense. Your strength +4 drill rock saw,
yeah.
Or I think it's +3, but either way.
Yeah, how does it make sense that I put down my power hammer and I punch the door?
Yeah, that's how it used to be.
Yeah.
And it didn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you, because it's been so long since we've played anything with under hive or under hells with doors that we didn't really think of this, but this is going to come in handy.
It will.
Same thing for smash open loot casket.
Yep. Strength or strength characteristic of a melee weapon.
Which does really matter there.
That one
because
actually
we do
matters
smash open loot caskets a lot.
Yes. And
it was like, well, I've got a strength +1 power sword or whatever, but I only have strength 3, so punch. Move and shoot basic action. Sidearm replaced with pistol. That's just word cleanup. Yep, they're replacing the word sidearm. No longer is existence. Yep. It is just pistol. Skimmers. So skimmers, what it used to be, this is under vehicles. So it used to be, however, if it ends its activation on difficult or dangerous terrain, it must make a handling test. If the test is passed, it has successfully negotiated the terrain. If it has failed, it suffers an immediate catastrophic hit to its drive. What they've changed that to is, however, if it ends its activation on difficult terrain or dangerous terrain to, however, if it ends its activation not on the battlefield surface and on difficult terrain or dangerous terrain.
Interesting.
So skimmers have to be on the battlefield surface. You can't drive your vehicle up terrain anymore. Okay.
And on difficult terrain. Is that additive?
Yeah,
if it ends...
They added the not on the battlefield surface part.
Well, I'm thinking if it is not on the battlefield surface and on dangerous terrain.
Oh, and on difficult terrain or dangerous terrain. Yes.
Is that one or the other, or it has to be both? So...
Yeah, wait, you're right. So now you can end your activation on difficult or dangerous terrain on the battlefield surface, and it ignores it.
And you don't take a test. If I'm reading
Which
that
makes
right.
sense, because it's a skimmer.
Yeah. It doesn't go...
which is how we made that exact joke. Yeah. We used to go like, okay, it's now my turn. I'm going to park it. Shh. Oh, lava.
Why didn't I see this coming?
Yeah, because remember, vehicles are always supposed to be in movement.
Yes.
All stopping movement is an abstraction, right? Mm-hmm. So yes, skimmers, very buffed. Actually a reason to take a skimmer now.
Yeah, I mean, you, like, climbing up a building is still...
right.
But yeah, actually better.
Sanctioned psychers and non-psychers. If you don't have a weird power, you get to select one from either the list on page 156 or from the weird power disciplines in Necromunda Book of the Outcast.
Interesting.
So it's no longer just the one list.
That is so much better, because the ones in the core rulebook are so bad.
Yeah, there's like what we said, there's like 2 good ones and the rest of them are like assail. All right, next one up is Mighty Leap, a skill that if you look at our skill tier list, we didn't think much of.
We did not.
So here's what Mighty Leap used to be. When measuring the distance of a gap this fighter wishes to leap across, ignore the first 2 inches. Okay. So now it's when measuring the distance of a gap this fighter wishes to leap across, ignore the first 2 inches of the distance. This means a fighter with this skill may leap over a gap 2 inches plus their base size or less without testing against their initiative. Basically, they added the plus their base size part.
Okay. So I guess that's better for big-based models so that they don't...
It doesn't actually change how good this skill is.
It does not.
Our tier list remains fine.
It might move up like half a step.
It's not the problem with that. The problem is that it's under the agility, which has dodge and spring up and sprint, which are 3 amazing skills that you will always pick instead of Mighty Leap.
What if I'm on a 4-year campaign and I have every other skill I can
Then
take?
it didn't matter. Neuroflare.
Oh my god.
So, I forget what video we talked about the Neuroflare in.
It's the special weapons.
It's a special weapons tier list. Basically, there's a very comedic entry in that video where we talked about all of the conflicting abilities.
Yes.
They've removed Pulverize.
They removed Pulverize. So they looked at it and they went, ah, dang, that doesn't work, huh? Yeah, just remove that keyword.
They also did some other things.
They
There's some
cleaned
FAQ.
it up. They FAQ'd a little bit, but
yes.
With Pulverize removed, it makes way more sense.
Yes.
Even without the FAQ, it makes way more sense.
So, it's not a nerf. It's not a nerf. The Neuroflare is still weird and interesting, and it is what it is. I think we put it in C because it's just so weird and interesting.
Yeah, fair.
Isotropic Fuel Rod. This is the one where if you buy one of these, you can change anything into a settlement. It was always kind of implied that it was a territory you own, but now it's specified that you can't change somebody else's territory into a settlement. You know what? Screws you, settlements, your territory. Which, I mean, like, there are universes in which you might want to do that to somebody.
Oh, yeah. There are also universes you would want to do that to yourself.
Yes, like take a pretty bad something and go, okay, fine.
And go, here's 2d6.
And then finally, the Cult Icon. It now is 40 credits and rare 8.
What did it used to be?
It was always 40 credits. I think now it's rare 8.
Oh, okay.
So, it's fine.
Oh, it didn't have a rarity at all.
Right.
It was just listed here.
Yeah, it's fine. All right. So that's it for the erratas. Which, okay. Some other FAQ questions. Do we want to go over all of these or just
frequently asked questions?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's like the ATM machine.
Exactly. Or the pin number.
Do exotic beasts count as for the purpose of gang composition? No, they're war gear.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we knew that.
Yeah. So these are going to be like, they don't change anything. It's just clarification.
Right. Do you want to take the next one?
Sure. Does a model get XP when they cause an enemy fighter to become webbed? No.
Which, I understand the confusion.
I understand the confusion there as well.
Because seriously injuring somebody does give you XP.
And webbed says they're treated as seriously injured.
But no.
You aren't actually seriously injuring them.
Right. And then, I like how the FAQ
Can you please explain how the Neuroflare works?
Please help. Okay, when a fighter is hit by a Neuroflare full blast profile, follow the steps below. As soon as you're hit, reduce their initiative by 2 due to concussion. Flash and gas replace the wound roll. You do flash first.
Yes.
So, or gain blind, and then roll a d6 for gas.
Yes.
And then, if the gas doesn't do anything...
No, would normally result in an injury roll. So if the gas is successful...
Yes.
Instead, they make a nerf test. So it doesn't actually deal any damage.
Right. Which is where we got
is where we got to. Because it doesn't deal damage, so Pulverize didn't do anything.
But if the result is equal to or less than the fighter's toughness, move on to resolve the fear test.
Yes.
Fear trait. But if it would result in injury roll being made, instead the fighter must make a nerf test.
Yes. It's very strange.
Right. Subtract 2 from the result.
Yes.
And if they fail that, they are broken and run for cover.
That's a whole lot to... I mean, to be fair, it potentially makes them break.
Right.
And has a -2 to that test. And a flash trait with a -2 to that test.
Right. It's basically the ultimate crowd control button.
Yeah.
Because in theory, they run away, blinded, broken, and screaming.
And I'm pretty sure broken. Also, if you had your marker, you lose it. Because you activate immediately.
You do immediately activate, yes.
So that could potentially get rid of 2 activations on something that's activated.
Yes.
I mean, we said this in the video. I think it's good. but it was just confusing how it worked.
They did specify that the new Palanites in Book of Judgment, new Palanites replaced the old Book of Judgment ones, which we all knew.
We don't need this anymore, huh?
Neuroflare removed Pulverize. We already talked about that.
Yeah, it's just in another book.
Cast Familiar, Omen of Fortune. And here we are. Here's the actual meat of this video. So this covers both the Chaos Familiar and the Psychic Familiar, which are technically two different familiars, but they have exactly the same.
Yeah, the same rules.
They're both in Book of Ruin.
Book of Ruin.
So one is the Chaos Familiar can only be taken by Chaos. Psychic Familiar could also be taken by
Genestealer Cults.
Genestealer Cults. Change the start of the second paragraph to read, whilst a familiar with it is within. Okay. So it's familiar.
The familiar is within.
A familiar. So what does that change? So what does it mean by what is the familiar to a familiar? What that means is you only get to do it once.
Yep. Once per round, regardless of how many you have.
Having multiple familiars doesn't change much, except if those familiars die, you get extra insurance.
So it takes it. You have to kill every familiar to prevent the one save.
And this is further reinforced with question. If a fighter has multiple exotic beasts with the Omen of Fortune rule, can they use this ability to avoid multiple hits? No. They may only attempt to avoid one hit per round, regardless of the number of exotic beasts with the Omen of Fortune ability they have. So, on the one hand, this is good.
It is the number one most frustrating thing about both of those factions.
Is like, oh, I shot you. No, you didn't.
They did.
And I get to do that up to 3 times.
Yeah.
Now,
per leader and champion.
Right. Yeah, and also, as pointed out, you can put these on basically everybody in Chaos. The problem is this is also less so with Genestealers, because now with Malstrains, Genestealers have Malstrains, or they have the Genestealer Corrupted gangs, which are actually way more fun to play as.
Yes.
But for Chaos, this was kind of all they had.
Yep.
All they had that was giving them a competitive edge, because it's not all they had in terms of flavor.
That's true. They still have their dark rituals.
There was lots of other fun and flavor to have. They didn't really have much that was particularly great.
Yeah.
This was kind of all they had.
This was their cheesy thing.
This was their cheesy thing that kept them a little competitive with some of the late game stuff. Yeah. I'm not sad to see it go, but it does reinforce what we said in our. I don't know if this video is going to come out before or after our
I don't know either.
Year in review video.
I've only said it 40 times in the.
We need a new Chaos Cults update.
Yeah, we need a new Cults update.
And this is another thing that adds to that. We need a new Chaos Cults update.
Although the fact that this is updated makes me think they're not going to do it anytime soon.
Maybe.
Although this could be like the precursor to them doing it and it being updated in the book.
Yeah, but this is a good change. I can understand that if you are a devoted Chaos player and you're feeling like this is the only thing that kept me competitive, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it sucks. I'm sorry.
You could still play it that way if your arbitrator is okay with it. But if you were relying on rules as written shenanigans anyway, you probably weren't playing as Chaos Cults, because there's so many other gangs that can do so much better rules as written shenanigans.
Yep, I agree.
So RIP Chaos Familiars, they're still very good. Probably don't need more than one of them. I mean, they're still only, 30 credits?
25.
Yeah, so you're still going to get one.
Super cheap. Yeah, you're still going to get one. I don't know if you're going to spam them.
Right. The next few are a bunch of things about how you use the any kind of mounted gun terrain. And it's... The thing they clarified is that each mounted gun terrain, so this requires for the heavy rivet cannon, the Orlocks have one of these, you can only shoot it once per round.
So you can't put 4 guys next to it and shoot it for everyone.
Which cements their status as being absolutely not worth it.
Oh yeah, we weren't using them beforehand.
No. So that's the Road Relic turret, the Rad cannon emplacement. None of those you were ever going to use.
Yeah.
But they show it sometimes as relics.
Yep.
Or they showed up as like fun terrain things.
Yeah, like little flavorful, like you're the defender and you have a little extra thing, but usually not.
When they are hit by a weapon with the seismic trait, does an active fighter equipped with a grav cutter become prone and pinned? And the answer to that is yes.
Yes.
Because a grav cutter prevents a fighter becoming prone and pinned due to hit by a ranged attack, and they can't do it voluntarily.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't stop seismic.
Nothing stops seismic.
Pretty much nothing stops seismic. So that's not a bad thing. It gives seismic some good. All right, on to Book of the Outcast with Takedown. Oh, sorry, this is a House of Shadow. Takedown. What?
I was going to date this video.
Why?
I was going to sing Takedown from K-pop Demon Hunters.
Take down me. Take down me. Take me down. Take down me.
Anyway.
Takedown. When this fighter takes the enemy, this is basically making this work with the new capture rules.
Yeah.
When this fighter takes an enemy fighter out of action, roll a d6. On a 4-up, the fighter automatically suffers a captured result instead of rolling on the table. Otherwise, rolling lasting injury tables is normal. So I like that. It actually makes that worth taking.
Yeah. So not only did it just like sort of not work with this new book, it was way
not
worse.
Good. Right.
That makes it way better.
When selecting a guild, noble, or criminal affiliation for an outcast gang, you count as a gang of that affiliation for scenario and campaign purposes. Does this give you access to the benefits and drawbacks? No.
Oh my god, they would be way stronger if they did.
No. You don't. Yeah.
I'm glad that they said that, but I never thought that they.
Here's one you and I whined about.
We did not that long ago.
Imperial House or Justicar Courts. They didn't get credit costs.
Yes.
So first off, they're both the Imperial House is a noble house affiliation, and Justicar Courts is a merchant guild affiliation, which I was not expecting.
Yeah, that one surprises me.
The Enforcer Bodyguards delegation. Remember, you get 2 schmucks with disintegrator guns. 205 credits. Not bad.
I mean, disintegrator gun's pretty good.
Wait. Oh, I'm sorry.
It's 410 total.
Yeah.
205 each.
They're not worth 205 each. The disintegration gun is really scary because it's a ranged weapon with sever.
Yeah.
But also as unstable.
Yeah, true.
And these guys, I mean, they're...
It's also interesting because there's no leader in that one. You can only take the champions.
Correct.
Because all the other ones have... Okay, I guess maybe not all the other ones. But most of the other ones have, like, a leader, a champion, and something else like this one.
Speaking of which, the Justicar delegation, which we talked about in our review, not too hot on. 670 credits.
There is no world that I would pay 670 credits for
200 for just the magistrate with his power gavel.
Bonk.
I mean, the executioner is not worth 140.
No.
Not with 1 attack, and the bailiffs, 110 each.
The real thing that doesn't make any sense is 1 attack. That you have 2 melee profiles with 1 attack each.
Because he's only doing the single head chop. He doesn't actually know how to attack.
I'm glad that they did this. If someone wants to run this as your outcast gang, go for it. The models are great.
Mm-hmm.
But
I would rather proxy them as something else. I would rather have them be like an ex-Justicar delegation using the models and not the rules.
Yeah, me too.
Several Dramatis Personae that may be purchase an additional named one at the same time for a reduced credit cost. So, for example, if you get Cal Jericho, when you get Cal Jericho, you can get scabs at a reduced cost. Mm-hmm. If you elevate one to be an outcast gang leader, may you recruit the other as a champion? And the answer is yes, you may for that reduced cost.
It's just adding more options to the game.
Yep. So if you're one of those incredibly cringy people who says, I'm going to make the Cal Jericho outcast gang, I'm messing with you.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Didn't you almost do that?
No.
Was it Cal Jericho?
That was Brian.
Oh.
Brian likes Cal Jericho. I don't care about Cal Jericho. He's not very good. No, I almost made Scaz my leader because he has a plasma gun. It's hilarious.
It's true.
So yeah, you can bring both of them. Or same thing for Arblestia and Armista Catalyst.
I don't know who either.
I know the House Catalyst people.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, more flavor though.
Yeah. I will always welcome more options.
Book of the Outlands. Move and shoot, same thing.
Yeah, same skimmer thing, same move and shoot thing.
Yep.
Already covered those.
Because Book of the Outlands is technically not outdated by the core book.
Yep.
When designing your own vehicle, including at gang creation, when can you purchase upgrades in war gear? You can get them at the start. They're only upgrades in war gear listed in the vehicle's entry may be purchased and fitted, but later upgrades in war gear may be purchased from the trading post.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was implied somewhere because I thought that was already a rule, but FAQ.
Yeah, but FAQ.
The reason for FAQ. So you it's like your gang equipment list. You can only buy stuff on there at the start, and later you can get more.
Yes, vehicles work the same way. Who'd have thought?
Yep. Ruins of Yardlarn.
Yardlarn.
When founding a gang for an Ash Waste campaign, grav cutters count as war gear that grants the mounted condition. Does this mean that neotechs are subject to the rules granted by the mounted condition? No. When founding a gang for Ash Waste campaign, grav cutters count as war gear that grants the mounted condition, but they do not actually grant the mounted condition. Okay, so they count as war gear that grants the mounted condition, but don't actually grant the mounted condition. This distinction allows you to recruit neotechs the additional 400 credits spent on vehicles or models with the mounted condition. I don't understand why this needed to be said.
They can still go into the Underhive.
That gotcha.
We put you on this council, but we do not grant you the rank of master.
Star Wars reference.
I guess. Aura's Power Talon becomes Aura's Power Talons and adds the power trait. Okay. I mean, yeah, sure. So clean up.
Yeah, it was really funny that it was a power weapon. It didn't have the power keyword.
What happens when a model with the reflex enhancers gains the blind condition? If they have any ready markers, they lose 1. If they don't have any ready markers at the start of the next round, they only gain 1.
Yep. Again, I thought that was said in the book, but apparently not.
If a fighter gains a skill from data crystals, does it increase the fighter's credit value? No, it does not.
That kind of makes sense.
It is really hard to get a skill from data crystals, and it is supposed to be something you're chasing.
Yeah.
So that's actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Or Spire Hunter has to augment both their weapons separately.
That's kind of annoying.
A little bit, but also, meh.
Yeah, that's fine.
Book of Desolation. The broken combi weapon flamer man catcher just gets exactly what it should, which is it has a flamer, which is a flamer, except the flamer has unstable on
because
it, so you'll never use it.
All the combi flamers have unstable.
And the man catcher's a man catcher. Yeah. The Malkadon Toxic Whip and the paired Malkadon Toxic Whips get versatile.
Okay.
And the Oris gets the Power Talons.
Oh,
in power.
And, so the fun part is it didn't say and gains. So again, this is not an effective errata. It had a 1 or 2 inch melee already.
Yeah.
It just didn't say versatile.
Right.
Love that.
Yeah. I don't even think we brought that up. Again, they FAQ'd that the reflex enhancers works the same way there. Data Crystal, same way there. Augmentation, same way there. How many attacks does Lady Hera in her hunting rig have? It depends on whether or not she's chucked her homing spear.
Yeah.
If she has 4 attacks and gets to add 1 due to having 2 melee weapons, you have to split them between the sword and the spear. And she gets to make power pack attacks. If her power steal has been thrown away due to the homing teleport rule, she doesn't have that and she doesn't get to dual wield.
Mm-hmm. I feel like so again, it's FAQ and we are in it more than
yes.
We are in it more than most people. I feel like that was a known thing, but
she threw it, but she still has 2 weapons on her profile, so she still gets the extra attack.
No,
that was a conversation somebody had.
Oh my god, no.
Can the custom rig be only used in Underhell's campaign? No, they may be used and destroy your campaign in any of your campaigns.
Yay!
You know our feelings on rigs and on Ridge Hollers.
Yep.
I think everyone should either get one or no one does.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm honestly coming around on everyone should have one.
Fair.
Like, just everybody should have a rig that they have to protect and is everybody's problem.
It makes sense in Underhells because that's like the caravan.
Yeah. Even in Ash Waste, I'm coming around and everyone just has a rig.
All right.
Like,
Josh, buy everybody a rig.
That's the problem.
Yep.
Is there a credit limit to the equipment Malstrain Brutescum bought as roaming horrors may be equipped with? No, the player with priority may have them equipped with any weapons or war gear from their equipment list, although this should be reflected on the model used to represent them. So in theory, you can load them up with everything. This is
WYSIWYG that roaming horror, baby.
Yeah, make it WYSIWYG, for fun.
Yeah.
No, he's got 14 plasma guns.
Says there's no limit. No credit limit.
Here's one that you and I and our play group has. We came to a decision, and the decision is what is matched here.
Yes.
But we were never quite sure.
Yeah. It was implied.
Go ahead.
Okay, so I'll just read it. When founding a Vansar gang, is there a limit to the number of tech hunters I may recruit? Remember, tech hunters is the special guy.
Mm-hmm. And he's always a specialist.
He's always a specialist.
He can't not be one.
The answer is no. Although one tech may be upgraded to a specialist when founding a gang, there is no limit to the number of specialists a gang may include at creation.
Correct, which is weird.
It is weird.
But this does mean that, yes, you can have, because your one tech can become a specialist and access the special weapons, but you can just load up on tech hunters.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool.
It's kind of cool. I don't like that they're still the only one.
Yeah, it's been a while.
I mean, if someone's going to be the one to get it, Vansar makes sense. But yeah, I think everybody should get a specialist. And also call it something different.
Yeah. On to Halls of the Ancients. Can an Exomaster use their Paragon of the Answer's ability to use an Answer's ability twice? Yes. Okay, cool. Power Pack traits, just nothing really special there. Basically, you get to make one attack with each power pack thing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't count on anything else. They don't.
Yeah, they don't count for dual wielding. They don't count for none of that.
Tribes of the Wastelands. Bringing Wastelanders in line with everyone else. It's only 3 3 enhancements to promote, not 5.
Yeah, which... Oh, because that was in this book.
Yes.
And they hadn't changed it for that.
Nomad Arthermite herders can get they get a blast pistol and sky mantle. Okay. D6 to D6 plus rep for petition. The kite and dagger doesn't cost anything.
Yeah, basically these erratas are all just like things that should have been included and they forgot.
Yeah. Nothing here is super special. Rocket pack, that does change.
Yeah.
When a friendly model within 3 inches of a fighter equipped with a rocket pack needs to make an ammo test for a charge caster, they may choose to pass it automatically. Each rocket pack may only be used once per battle.
Yep.
So you could load up everyone with rocket packs and have them all stand around your guy with a charge caster.
Yep.
Which is realistic. Sky Mantle. During Ash Waste battles, a fighter equipped with a Sky Mantle can take the Hide in the Waste double action as long as they're not subject to the mounted condition. Basically, can't mount and hide. Kind of knew that. Additional attacks. Is there a limit to the number of hunters I may recruit? No. Because same thing.
Yep.
Just like the Bansar text, the Vash Wastes. Since Ash Waste nomads treat long rifles as base weapons instead of special weapons, can they fit a gun shroud to a long rifle? Yes, they can.
Ooh.
So you can silence your long rifle, which I think we had been playing it the other way around.
Yeah.
Because it was like, nope, it's not a special. It's
a special weapon.
It says basics.
Yeah.
Can a nomad hunter be upgraded to become a sanctioned psyker or a non-sanctioned psyker in the same way as bounty hunters using Necromunda Book of the Outcasts? Yes, but not a sanctioned one. Why would you think they would be sanctioned?
Yeah, fair.
That's an exchange student. He's shock trait is triggered if a 6 is rolled when the seeing of the trap goes off.
That is very good,
Yep.
honestly.
Eyes of the Wasteland skill stacks with photo goggles or an infrasight.
Which, again, made sense once this came out, but didn't make sense at the time.
Yep.
Because an infrasight used to just say 12.
Yep.
And now it says +9.
Yeah, it used to set your distance. Now it adds your distance. Bastions of Law. Bad Zone Enforcer gang suck. Enlisted High Scum are not included when comparing the number of models with and without the gang fighter role.
Yep.
Which is what makes them suck.
Yep.
If you're playing Bad Zone Enforcers, you're playing hard mode.
And we said that in the review, and we stick by it.
Concussion Ram does in fact have blast 3 inches. The heavy concussion ram does. Yeah. Just like that is the same mistake they made in Book of Judgment.
That's so funny.
Flak
Copy, paste, print. Dang it.
Minimum flak armor penetration for hardened flak armor and hardened layer flak armor is -1.
Yeah, because the hardened is it can't go below -1, right?
Right, yeah. Can Enforcer bolt guns and shotguns use special ammo types? No. Not unless they're on there. The Crush Weird Power is working on intended because it is crushing someone with armor is easier than without.
Yeah.
So yeah, if they pass their save roll, they get crushed. It's bad for them.
That is similar to the way that Grav used to work in 40k, where it's the better their armor, the worse it was for them.
Yes.
This is actually legitimate.
Yes.
Sloppers, rogue docs, ammo jacks, gang lookouts, and dome runners now all have outlaw, which means they can be hired by all outlaw gangs.
Yes.
Yay!
Which is weird that they had to put entries for them in that book because, as people point out, the reason they put them in there is that now outlaws can. But they could have.
But then they just FAQ'd it.
Yeah, in a free PDF. Okay. When hiring a bounty hunter or nomad harrier, do I have to pay additional credits for any equipment they come with? Yes.
Duh.
Rattling hunt leader's movement is 4 inches.
I thought we changed that already. Oh no, did that go to 5?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens when a Venator gang rolls either 1 or 2 6s for this elements? If you roll 1, you get Jack. If you roll 2, you can get a single ganger of their choice from those available to them. This can include an Ogren. So
okay.
Whoop whoop.
Fair. You get nothing or whatever you want.
Yeah. I mean, so it's like single 6s you get Jack, but double 6s.
Yeah.
And can a Venator?
They're like 100 something credits, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're expensive.
Ogrens. Can a Venator hunt leader still be upgraded to be sanctioned or non-sanctioned, as described in Book of the Outcast? Yes, they can. And that's it.
That's it.
So been a while since we had one of these. The only thing that really changed anything in here is Neural Flare being,
Neural Flare making sense.
The 2 things for Book of the Outcast, for Outcast gangs, for Pal Knights and their judges. That is nice to have those numbers so you can ignore them.
Yep.
Or change them.
I mean, you can run with them if you want.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm thinking about the Paladinites.
The companions.
Those are pretty cool.
205 credits each is a lot.
It's a lot,
but disintegration guns are scary.
And think about the disintegration guns with the availability to get experience.
Right.
And they're champions.
Right. Now, here's the thing. I always forget, though. Do they lose the take care of your own rule? They do if they're part of your...
I think they lose their special rules.
Right. So that would mean that, but sever.
Yeah. But sever...
Unstable.
Unstable. I know. But they're so cool.
Buy an ammo jack or 4.
Yeah.
Munition here. And then, of course, the really big one. The actual only balance change in here is the familiars.
Well, the real problem is it is a balance change.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. But it was taking 2 of the worst gangs in the game and going, no, you get out of here. That one thing you got, get out of here.
You know that comic where the guy gets a hug and then he just like German suplexes him instead of getting a hug? It's that.
Oh my god, I'm getting attention. Oh yeah, you are. So yeah, they balance changed 2 of the worst factions in the game to be worse.
And like one of those, I mean, I still, for all intents and purposes, I believe Genestealer cults are deprecated.
Yeah, Genestealer cults are basically just mouse ring Genestealers now. Which sucks because they had some differences and there's some things you can't do with mouse ring.
Yeah.
But the Genestealer... Like, the Genestealer corrupted, there's no reason to Genestealer corrupt anymore, just mouse ring corrupt.
Yeah.
And normal Genestealers, like, there are reasons to still be that.
Yes.
Which was basically the familiar.
Which, I mean, that's not what I think when I think of Genestealers, though.
I know.
It's not like, I don't play Genestealers to have infinite dodging powers. I play Genestealers to have third arms.
Yeah, it's the third arm, which is really unfortunate that that's the only thing that they're used for. Again, give me a Ruins update book.
Yeah, give me a Book of the Rune update. Give me a Book of the Cults update, whatever. Yeah. Book of Chaos, something. All right. Well, that's it for this FAQ. A great way to start out the new year. Happy 2026.
Technically end the whole year, but...
Well, I mean, by the time they see this.
Yeah.
This ain't going up tonight, Mitchell. And if they do, they're not watching it.
At midnight.
Yeah. Let us know below what you're excited for in here, if anything. If you think this is an unjust change to the... poor Chaos Cults, or if you're on team, this needed to be changed. And we will see you in 2026.